Our algorithmic overlords, a modern fairy tale gone wrong. Algorithms. Yes, those invisible computer codes. They were supposed to be helpful. Like friendly digital butlers, tidying up our online lives, finding us the perfect song, the next great movie, or even bless their cotton socks, true love. But somewhere along the way, the butlers got a bit much. They started deciding everything, what we see, what we think. It's less helpful butler, more creepy overlord. And nobody voted for that. These algorithms, they run the internet, and increasingly, they run parts of our actual lives. Think about your social media feed. It's not random. An algorithm curates it, just for you, or so it says. It's designed to keep you scrolling, clicking, watching. Enter the dragon, China's stand against digital voodoo. Now, while the rest of the world mostly scratches its head, or forms committees to discuss forming subcommittees, China decided to do something big. They launched a campaign, a proper, no-nonsense campaign. This wasn't a polite suggestion. Oh no, it was a crackdown on what they called toxic algorithms. Yes, toxic. Like that mushroom you shouldn't eat, or that relative you avoid at Thanksgiving. This ambitious cleanup operation kicked off back on November 24, 2024, a date for the digital history books. It wasn't a forever war though. It was a focused 3-month blitz, running all the way to February 14, 2025. Happy Valentine's Day, algorithms. Here's a restraining order. The goal? To sort out the typical issues. The A-team of Regulation Beijing's United Front. So, who was behind this algorithmic intervention? Was it one lone hero in a cape? Unlikely. This was a team effort. A regulatory supergroup, if you will. Think the Avengers, but for internet governance. And probably with more spreadsheets. And fewer explosions. Leading the charge was the Communist Party's Commission for Cyberspace Affairs. Yes, that's a mouthful. But they're the big cheeses here, the digital sheriffs laying down the new laws of the web. But they weren't alone in this digital crusade. Oh no, they brought friends, powerful friends. The Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, or MIIT, they handle the techie bits, the nuts and bolts of the internet. Then there's the Ministry of Public Security, their job, keeping things orderly, online and offline. The naughty list algorithms behaving badly. So, what specific algorithmic misdeeds made China say enough? Well, the list is quite something. Let's dive in. First up, those information cocoons. We've all been there. Your feed shows you the same stuff, over and over. It's like digital deja vu, but it's by design. These algorithms want to keep you hooked, addicted even. They create homogenized content, a bland, repetitive online world. Not exactly stimulating for the old gray matter, is it? Then there's the dark art of manipulating trending topics. Yes, that's a thing. A very naughty thing, using robot armies, fleets of fake accounts, to push certain narratives, or bury others. It's like having a digital public square. Section 5, more than just whack-a-mole, the grand vision. This campaign wasn't just about swatting a few annoying algorithmic flies, it was about addressing the root causes of these issues, not just the symptoms. No, China was aiming for something much bigger. They envisioned a future where technology serves the people, not the other way around. A fundamental shift in how big tech operates. This wasn't just a minor tweak, it was a complete overhaul. One key goal, curbing the immense influence of these tech giants, especially their power to shape online views and public opinion. This influence had grown unchecked for too long. It's about reclaiming some control over the digital narrative, making sure it's not just a handful of companies calling all the shots. The aim was to democratize the digital space. Because let's be honest, their track record isn't exactly spotless. From data breaches to misinformation, the list goes on. Another major objective, closing those echo chambers. These are the digital silos where only like-minded opinions are echoed. Those digital bubbles where everyone agrees with everyone else. They create a false sense of consensus. While that might feel cozy, it's terrible for society. It fuels polarization. It divides us into camps that can't communicate. It makes sensible debate impossible. People end up talking past each other, rather than engaging in meaningful dialogue. It can even make misinformation spread like, well, a virus. This misinformation can have real-world consequences. The idea is to foster a more diverse information environment, where different perspectives can actually be heard. A place where dialogue thrives. Imagine that, a truly radical concept for the internet. A space where innovation and ethics go hand in hand. Then there's the push for fairness and ethics. This isn't just about compliance, it's about doing what's right. Tech companies were told to conduct self-assessments, to look at their own algorithms and fix the dodgy bits. This was a call for transparency and accountability. Section 6. Building a Digital Great Wall, the Regulatory Blueprint. This recent algorithm campaign didn't just appear out of thin air. It's a calculated move, part of a broader strategy. It's part of a much larger, carefully constructed regulatory landscape meticulously planned over the years. China has been busy building a framework for its digital future, brick by digital brick. Think of it as a digital Great Wall, but for rules and regulations safeguarding their digital sovereignty. It started years ago with foundational laws like the Cybersecurity Law, the Personal Information Protection Law, and the Data Security Law. These laws laid the groundwork. These are the bedrock, setting the stage for more specific AI and algorithm rules, ensuring a controlled digital environment. And specific rules there are, plenty of them, each addressing different facets of the digital world. The provisions on the management of algorithmic recommendations came first, effective way back on March 1, 2022. This was a significant milestone. That was an early warning shot, signaling the start of a new era in digital governance. Then, for those deepfakes and synthetic media, we got new rules, the Deep Synthesis provisions from January 10, 2023. These rules aim to curb misuse. And for the new kid on the block, generative AI, China rolled out interim administrative measures on August 15, 2023. They're not messing around, ensuring every aspect is covered. They're building this layer by layer, meticulously. And there's more coming as they continue to fortify their digital landscape. Section 7. Speak up, the people, the platforms, and the powers that be. Now, how do you make sure these rules actually stick? And how do you catch the algorithm still misbehaving? Well, China set up a hotline, metaphorically speaking, a special email address, Swanfa at 12,377 CN. Catchy, right? The public could use it to report dodgy algorithm issues. This reporting channel was active until February 14, 2025. So, if an algorithm was ruining your day, you could tell someone. It's like a digital neighborhood watch, but for code. And what about the companies, the big tech platforms? They have a whole list of new chores, compliance requirements. They must use algorithms lawfully, respect intellectual property, get consent for personal information. No sneaky data grabs. They need to label data accurately, train their staff properly. And if their AI spits out illegal content, they have to remove it and report it to the authorities. Pronto. It's all about taking responsibility. A novel idea for some. User protection is also a big theme, as it should be. Section 8. The global algorithm race. Is China leading the pack? So, China is going full throttle on algorithm regulation. What about the rest of the world? Are they keeping pace? Well, it's a mixed bag. A very, very mixed bag. Lots of talk, lots of reports, lots of concerned, furrowed brows. International bodies like the G7, the UN, and the OECD are on it. They're discussing principles, frameworks, ethical guidelines, which is all very nice and very important, but it's often a bit slow and a bit abstract. Individual countries are also trying to get a handle on AI. The European Union has its AI Act, a big, comprehensive piece of legislation. It's definitely a major step, but it's taken years to develop, and implementation is a whole other marathon. The UK is exploring its own path, more pro-innovation, they say. The US, well, it's complicated. Section 9. A cleaner web, the hope for a less toxic tomorrow. So what's the upshot of all this regulatory fervor in China? The government has been rolling out a series of stringent regulations aimed at cleaning up the digital space. Could this campaign and the broader rules actually work? The effectiveness of these measures is still up for debate. Could it lead to a healthier online environment? That's the big question. A cleaner web could mean more meaningful interactions and less toxicity. Imagine a digital world with fewer echo chambers, less polarization, where misinformation doesn't spread quite so easily, where users feel less manipulated and more in control. It's a vision of a more balanced and fair digital ecosystem. That's the dream, isn't it? A less toxic internet. A place where people can engage without the constant barrage of negativity. Like a digital detox, but for an entire nation's web. It's about creating a healthier relationship with technology. The impact on major platforms is undeniable. These companies are being forced to rethink their strategies. Companies like Douyin, Weibo and Taobao, they've all had to pay attention. They're under scrutiny like never before. They've had to review their algorithms, make changes, and become more transparent about how they operate. This could lead to more ethical tech practices. This could mean fairer treatment for gig workers like those delivery drivers finally getting a bit of a break, and better protection for consumers from sneaky pricing tricks. It's about fairness across the board. Of course, there are always questions and potential criticisms. The balance between regulation and innovation is delicate. Some might worry about state control over information or the impact on innovation if regulations are too tight. These are valid concerns. Balancing them is tricky. It's a tightrope walk. But the stated goals of this campaign are hard to argue with. Protecting users, ensuring fairness, promoting healthy tech development, it's a step towards a more responsible digital future.